From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Thanks for joining us this morning. It is Monday, November 24th. Let's open up the windows and get this day started.
A single room, an SRO, like a hotel or a single apartment, I'm perfectly fine with that.
After criticism from homeless rights advocates over its RV parking ban, San Francisco has a new plan to create more permanent housing. This time, they want private landlords to help out. Reaction from people living on the streets on whether this plan could work or not.
Something like that, I don't know. It doesn't add to the charm of the place.
A Little Caesars restaurant turning into a big problem in Sebastopol. Why the chain restaurant is set to open in this small town, even though the city says it shouldn't be there.
I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like to have no electricity. So to do this, I feel happy because I'm meeting a need that's needed.
Helping neighbors celebrate the holidays with food on the table, where volunteers have been making a difference and giving out Thanksgiving meals for those in need.
Not seen a vending machine for homemade pasta and toppings, of course.
And it's meant to make it easy to take a fresh meal home. Meet the San Francisco chef using vending machines to sell his fresh pasta.
All right, good morning and happy Monday. It's Thanksgiving week and many of us, we're about to start traveling right around the corner. The best news I can give you all week, the weather is going to be calm and it's going to cooperate with us as we head into the next 3 to 5 days, actually. Beautiful, mild weather, but we are kicking it off with some foggy, patchy conditions, especially over into Solano County as we wake up this morning. Later into this afternoon, that's going to bleed off, but daytime highs today, especially over into Solano County, are nice and cool. We're also talking about upper 50s and lower 60s, anywhere from Antioch all the way down into the Santa Clara Valley, looking very similar for our friends all the way up into wine country. Now, off into Solano County, I would like to also mention that the National Weather Service has issued a fog advisory, but that's extending all the way out into the Sacramento Valley too. So for the most part, we're going to see it the more east we go. It's looking a lot better along the bay and along our shoreline. Along our shore, we have that beach hazard statement. I'll have more on that coming up in just a bit. For now, back to you.
All right, thank you, Jess. The search for the man who was swept into the ocean in Monterey County Saturday afternoon is now a recovery mission. The Monterey County Sheriff's Office says crews will be back out there this morning. This happened at Soberanes Point, 9 miles south of Carmel along the Big Sur coastline. Rough surf swept a man and 2 women off the rocks and into the ocean. The 2 women were able to get back to shore safely, but the man did not resurface. This incident comes just about a week after a man and his 7-year-old daughter drowned in rough surf in that same area after being swept away by a wave. A private rescue diver who helped bring back that child's remains says that visitors need to be more aware of how dangerous the water can be.
They don't know the area, they don't know how the ocean moves, and they don't anticipate those bigger waves.
The survivors of Saturday's incident were taken to the hospital to be treated for their injuries. Moving around the Bay now for headlines in your community on this Monday morning. In San Francisco, women's rights advocates will join members of the Public Defender's Office for a rally against the sheriff in front of the county jail. They're upset about reports of illegal strip searches. A recent investigation by the news site Mission Local found that as many as 17 incarcerated women were ordered to undress in front of male deputies while the body cams were still rolling. The report also says deputies laughed and joked as the mass strip search continued. Advocates call this a violation of state policy and of constitutional protections. The San Francisco Sheriff's Office said in a statement that it is aware of the allegations and the conduct described as deeply concerning and does not reflect the policies, procedures, or professional standards we require of our staff. It goes on to say appropriate personnel action was taken. Also in San Francisco, what started as a burglary investigation turned into a death investigation at a home at Granada Avenue on Sunday afternoon. Police say when they arrived, they found one person with severe injuries. Despite life-saving efforts, first responders pronounced that victim dead at the scene. No word on what injuries that person sustained or the relation to the burglary. So far, no arrests have been made. Police are asking anyone with information to come forward. In Sonoma County, sheriff's detectives say they have tracked down a homicide suspect, but it isn't clear if he is alive or dead. 56-year-old Lawrence Cassidy allegedly shot and killed someone on Saturday in Cloverdale. On Sunday, deputies found him at a home in Santa Rosa. A 3-hour standoff ensued with shots fired from inside the home. Authorities deployed a drone and bomb disposal robot and discovered a man dead, but that body has not been identified as of this hour. About 3 weeks ago, San Francisco started enforcing its ban on long-term RV parking on city streets. The new rule faced a lot of pushback because the city did not have enough shelter beds available. Homeless rights advocates and other groups said the city did not make it easy enough for people who were living in their RVs to get a permit to avoid being towed as they tried to find a permanent address. So this map right here, it shows where San Francisco's homeless families were living as of September. The green dots that you see mark where the vehicles and RVs were parked, just under 500 in total. Right now, San Francisco is launching a pilot program to try to create more permanent housing, and they're turning to private landlords for help. Da Lin spoke to one man who's living in an RV who says he will take whatever help he can get.
The first of this month, I got my permit, and it's good for 6 months. Caseworkers have been assigned to us. My caseworker's been out here a couple of times.
Alan has lived in his RV on John Muir Drive for about 10 months.
Refrigerator and freezer. I got a queen-size bed in the back. Air conditioning. I have heating throughout the entire place.
Even though he's made this temporary space feel comfortable, he says what he really wants, it's a permanent home.
I can't afford to live in the city without help. Well, the city's agreed to help, so I'll be able to save a little money. Maybe be able to find something else elsewhere. I am not capable of working, doing manual labor. I've had 3 strokes and 4 TIAs.
The 69-year-old, a reformed convict, relies on his monthly $1,200 SSI check. He welcomes any program that can help people get off the street and into stable housing.
A single room, an SRO, like a hotel or a single apartment, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Mayor Daniel Laurie on Friday introduced the $450,000 pilot program funded by private donations. It will pay 1 month's rent to property owners who reserve vacant units for qualified RV dwellers like Alan. The nonprofit Catholic Charities will coordinate the program and match landlords with participants.
If we get more people involved with advocacy, if we get more residents speaking up for the unhoused rather than calling them in as a nuisance, I think we can turn the tides and try to help. Good morning.
Erica Wang and other homeless advocates spent Saturday passing out flyers and talking with RV dwellers to make sure they know their rights. She says there still isn't enough affordable housing to meet the need.
We've had RV parks in the past, but those have been shut down by the city. Why can't we have more RV parks? Why can't we provide more access points for people to get the support and the supplies that they need to take care of themselves so that it's less of an issue in the neighborhoods?
The city admits the need is far greater than the available supply, which is why they say they're trying out different solutions. But city officials also say tents on sidewalks and RVs sitting in the same spot for months aren't sustainable. The 6-month parking permits are designed to give RV dwellers a pathway into permanent housing. Anyone without a permit can be towed if they stay parked longer than 2 hours. Alan says he's feeling more optimistic after seeing others recently find housing.
A few days ago, they found places for 2 people, and they've moved over to Park Merced. I see positive things.
The city hasn't given a timeline as to how long it'll take to house the RV dwellers, but the goal is to move them into permanent homes before their parking permits expire.
That was Da Lin reporting. We do have some breaking news now this morning at 6:08. BART says there is no red or green line service right now on a couple of different segments due to equipment problems on the track. Let's take this alert right here on the screen. This was what they posted on the internet this morning on social media. I guess if we can get that, we will. If we can't, I'll just summarize it for you anyways. There's no green line. Here it is. There we go. Okay, this is the service alert that BART posted online just a couple of moments ago. Take a look at your screen. That's the details right there. But the summary is there's no green line service right now between the Berryessa and Daly City stations. And then with the red line, there's no red line service. And this one is because of an issue with equipment on the track near the West Oakland station. So riders are going to have to make big adjustments this morning as they head out the door for both red line service and green line service in both the East Bay, City, and Peninsula as well. We're going to have a crew live from the scene. They're on their way there right now to provide us more information as we receive it with this BART issue this morning. But to summarize one final time for you, red line and green line service severely impacted this morning as BART begins the Monday morning commute. All right, let's take a look at our Bay Area airports as holiday travel continues to ramp up this week. All TSA workers should be receiving their back pay by today. A spokesperson says about 90% of the workers have already received their back pay that was owed to them as a result of the government shutdown. TSA workers, they missed several paychecks during the shutdown. That's why this is happening. However, some TSA agents at various U.S. airports received a $10,000 bonus. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem says those who worked every day during the government shutdown went above and beyond. With Thanksgiving happening this Thursday, we are seeing our community step up now to make sure no family goes hungry. There are several food distributions going on today for any families in need. Sacred Heart in San Jose will kick off its holiday food box giveaway this morning. Each box will have fresh produce, bread, and a turkey to go along with it. No appointment is needed. Walk-ins are welcome starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, but organizers do say you should bring a cart or something to load your food on. Brisbane's YMCA Resource Center will give out food for neighbors there. It is for Brisbane residents, but the distribution itself is actually happening at the Fernecky's building in South San Francisco, so be aware of that. Hunger at Home will give out Thanksgiving food at the San Jose Flea Market. A turkey and fresh pantry goods will be given out starting around 9 o'clock this morning. And in Oakland on Sunday, the Grand Advent Seventh-day Adventist Church handed out 100 turkeys to families that could really use a helping hand. They also provided holiday meal food baskets. One organizer said this really hits close to home.
I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like to have no electricity. So to do this, I feel happy because I'm meeting a need that's needed.
It's a blessing. Some people, it's rare to have good people in the world, and they're just angels. They're helping us and helping families.
The church gave away 50 turkeys last year. They plan on giving away 200 turkeys next year. And we invite you to join us in helping your community this holiday season. Scan that QR code on your screen. You can find out how you can donate to or volunteer at our local food banks. You can also learn more if you head to kpix.com/give. The time is 6:12 on this Monday morning. New progress in the peace proposal to end Russia's war in Ukraine, what is being planned and why it is drawing pushback among Ukrainians. And a Little Caesars pizza store causing a big controversy in the North Bay, why it is set to open despite the city saying it shouldn't be there. And here is a live look outside. Love the look of the Embarcadero Center lit up this holiday season. Jess will have your forecast when we come back. Stay with us.
First Alert Weather, brought to you by AAA Insurance. Get a quote today.
Welcome back this morning. We are watching live video from our many monitors that bring us headlines from all across the globe. The Trump administration is touting progress on its peace proposal to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. U.S. officials also ramping up pressure on Venezuela, despite a new CBS News poll showing that many Americans are overwhelmingly against taking military action there. Bradley Blackburn has more.
The White House says talks between U.S. and Ukrainian officials in Geneva over the weekend have led to an updated and refined peace proposal to end Russia's war on Ukraine.
I think we made a tremendous amount of progress. There's still some work to be done.
Sources familiar say there are also discussions for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to possibly return to Washington this week, ahead of President Trump's Thanksgiving deadline for Ukraine's response to the peace plan, though the president has hinted that date is not set in stone.
We'd like to get the peace.
Earlier Sunday, President Trump had claimed that the war in Ukraine wouldn't have happened, quote, with strong and proper U.S. and Ukrainian leadership, adding that Ukraine has expressed zero gratitude. Congressional Democrats have slammed the peace plan, which originally called for Ukraine to cede territory and shrink its military.
That is a very good deal for Russia. It is a horrible deal for Ukraine, for our allies, and even for our own national security.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration is ramping up pressure on Venezuela, now officially designating a cartel it says is tied to leader Nicolas Maduro as a terror organization. The Air Force is also sharing images of B-52 bombers simulating a nighttime attack along the country's coast. This is a new CBS News poll shows that 70% of Americans oppose taking military action in Venezuela.
Meanwhile, President Trump could unveil a new health care plan as soon as today. It is aimed at addressing the soon-to-expire Obamacare subsidies that helped fuel the recent government shutdown. According to sources familiar with the plan, the White House proposal would set new income limits for subsidies and require minimum premium payments. The Senate is still expected to vote next month on a related legislation to extend these subsidies. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene says she is not planning to run for president in 2028. She announced Friday that she will leave the U.S. House in January. Then a Time magazine article suggested she was running or considering a run for higher office. But on Sunday, Greene wrote on social media that she has no plans for a presidential bid. Let's take you live outside on this Monday morning in November. Take you above the clouds. That is a beautiful shot of the sunrise, but unfortunately for us on the surface, I don't think many of us are seeing that this morning, Jess.
You know, it's okay. At least it's dry at the end of the day, right? And here's the reality. As we head into the next 24 hours, the next 48 hours, as many of us are hitting the roads for that Thanksgiving holiday travel, things are looking pretty mild for us. So let's dive straight into it. Starting off with this morning alone, we do have some dense fog all the way off into Solano County. Cool conditions this morning. Daytime highs only warming up into the upper 50s over into places like Antioch this afternoon. We have low 60s and upper 50s widespread throughout the North Bay, stretched off into the East Bay. We head all the way over into the Santa Clara Valley, low 60s, anywhere from San Jose along the foothills into Los Gatos. Let's head a little bit more north, though. Back into Antioch we go. A couple things I want to talk about. The National Weather Service has issued a dense fog advisory for all the highlighted zones and counties on this map. That includes Solano County, but for the most part, things are looking pretty mild for us throughout the rest of the Bay Area. That Solano County map is also grouped up with the Sacramento Valley, as you can see. A couple other things we want to talk about, though. I just pulled this up. The National Weather Service has also issued a beach hazard statement along our coastline, where we have been seeing choppy waters all weekend long. On top of that, rip currents and sneaker waves are definitely possible, anywhere from Stinson Beach all the way down into Half Moon Bay and past that into Santa Cruz. So just be very careful out there as we head outside this morning, especially along the shoreline. This isn't the time that you're wanting to head outside and head into the water. Well, head outside, just don't head into the water. You get what I'm saying. Here's what's happening as we head into the next 7 days. Drier conditions for us as we head into this week. I know the past 2 weeks we were either dealing with cold fronts or atmospheric rivers, bringing in heavy amounts of rain at times too. We're done with that, at least for this Thanksgiving holiday week, which is perfect, just in time for travel on the roads or travel in the skies too. Now, as for temperatures, they're going to feel pretty chilly. This is more of a winter-like setup for us as we head into the next couple days. Low 60s and upper 50s along the bay. That's okay, but once you head into our inland spots, this is the time of year where we're starting to see daytime highs a little bit cooler than usual. About 5 to 10 degrees below average today in some of our inland spots. We're continuing that trend as we head into this Thanksgiving forecast this week. So bundle up, stay warm, enjoy the time with your loved ones. We'll have more on this forecast coming up in a bit. Max.
All right, thank you for that, Jess. We have some breaking news this morning. BART is experiencing major delays and issues on some of its lines. This alert just posted on the website. What we can tell you, there is no Green Line service right now between Berryessa and Daly City stations, and there is no Red Line service at all right now due to an equipment problem on the tracks near the West Oakland station. So if you are a Green Line rider, listen up. In San Francisco, you can board a Blue Line train bound to Dublin or Pleasanton. For people on the Berryessa line, you can take a Richmond-bound train and then transfer at Bayfair. Meantime, if you are a Red Line rider, you can still take the Yellow Line. We'll have more updates to come as this situation unfolds throughout the middle of the morning commute on this Monday. We do have a crew on the way who also will provide us with live updates from the BART station there as they get them. Reggae legend Jimmy Cliff has died at 81 years old. The charismatic singer and actor known for classics like Many Rivers to Cross and You Can Get It If You Really Want, also starred in the groundbreaking film The Harder They Come. His family said he died after experiencing a seizure followed by a bout of pneumonia. Cliff helped bring reggae to the world stage and inspired generations with his message of joy, defiance, and resilience. It is 6:22 on this Monday morning. He may be in the headlines despite not playing a game this season, why 49ers receiver Brandon Ayuk may not be with the red and gold much longer. The 49ers host the Panthers tonight on Monday Night Football, but the game wasn't the only storyline with the team this weekend. Andrea Nakano has the details in this morning's Red and Gold Report.
This is the Audi Red and Gold Report.
The 49ers were in the headlines this week for a player that's currently not playing. The Athletic reported Friday that the team and wide receiver Brandon Ayuk were headed towards a split after the 49ers voided about $27 million in contract guarantees for next season back in July. This comes after Ayuk signed a 4-year, $120 million extension in August of 2024 following a lengthy contract negotiation. The voiding of the deal will likely lead to the receiver being released after the season. The former first-round pick has not played since last October when he tore multiple ligaments in his knee. Kyle Shanahan says he has been left in the dark on if a return to the field is possible.
Not getting much dialogue just personally between him and I, and I've been told that it's week to week, so each week I wait to see if he's ready to come back for practice, and haven't got that answer yet. Coached in over 20 years, and I've never been in a situation where a contract's been voided, so it was extremely unusual to me.
For the Red and Gold Report, I'm Andrea Nakano.
The time is 6:26. Holiday travel ramping up as people head home for the holidays. What to expect in the Bay Area if you're one of the millions of travelers taking to the sky.
From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Welcome back. It is half past the hour, and we have some breaking news to report this morning. BART continues to experience major issues on the red and green lines. They posted this alert online just about 6 o'clock this morning. No green line service between Berryessa and Daly City stations right now. There's no red line service at all. This is due to an equipment problem near the West Oakland station. So if you are a Green Line rider in San Francisco, this is your workaround right now. You can board a Blue Line train that's bound to Dublin or Pleasanton. For those on the Berryessa line, you can take a Richmond-bound train and then transfer at Bayfair. For Red Line riders, you can still take the Yellow Line to get to where you need to go. That just may add a little bit of extra time. We do have a crew on the way, and we will keep you updated with more information as we get it this morning. Take you live outside now along San Francisco's Ocean Beach this morning. Higher risk for sneaker waves and rip currents despite that beautiful shot there. So officials are really cautioning everybody to avoid swimming in the water today. Jess, this has been a dangerous situation along the California coast for a couple of days now.
Absolutely. All throughout this weekend, we're seeing continuing conditions today. So we're just going to keep a close eye on that as we head outside the door. I want to start up by just pulling up the map and even showing you those highlighted zones and counties that are dealing with that beach hazard statement. If you see blue on this map, anywhere from Stinson Beach, Bodega Bay, all the way over into places like Half Moon Bay and Ocean Beach too, we're all under that beach hazard statement with really rough waves right now. Sneaker waves and rip currents are definitely possible, as Max mentioned. You see that gray behind me over in Solano County? You're probably wondering, what is that? Well, if you live over there, you're probably also looking out your window, seeing a whole bunch of fog. A dense fog advisory in effect right now that'll expire later into the afternoon hours today. But I'm just going to turn the fog on this map so you can see it's pretty patchy for the most part, closer to places like the Sacramento Valley. But we're going to continue to see cool, cloudy conditions throughout the Bay Area this morning, breaking apart a bit more into this afternoon with daytime highs in the 50s and 60s. Max?
All right, thank you for that, Jess. Thanksgiving is just a few days away, and millions of Americans will be hitting the roads or take to the skies to reunite with family this holiday season. AAA is projecting nearly 82 million people will travel at least 50 miles from home for Thanksgiving, and about 6 million of them are expected to take a domestic flight. Now, this all comes after air travel was incredibly hampered by the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Amanda Harry was at SFO to chat with some people who were heading out early and said they were pretty relieved that things seemed to be pretty smooth.
After weeks of delays and canceled flights because of the government shutdown, the scene at San Francisco International Airport Sunday night was a relief for travelers.
Completely boring.
That's how Stuart Alsop affectionately described his travel experience, but admitted there was one hiccup.
Well, we had a little bit of a thing in the airport. They couldn't get the baggage door open on the airplane, and it took them a while to figure that out. We only left 30 minutes late.
Alsop lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico, but is celebrating the Thanksgiving holiday in San Francisco.
Part of my family's here. The family down there wasn't sticking around for Thanksgiving, so we came up here. We used to live here. I lived here for 35 years.
His grandson's birthday is earlier in the week, and they have a lot to celebrate.
My grandson just had the winning touchdown in a football game, so I'm going to treat him like a star.
Despite the recent government shutdown impacting air travel earlier this month, AAA is still predicting a 2% increase in Thanksgiving domestic air travel compared to 2024. The Flight Information Board at SFO listed the majority of flights as on time Sunday night. But Vivian Kwok anticipated a busy travel week in the coming days, which is why she was going home to Redwood City on Sunday.
It's usually more crazy during the holiday season. We kind of want it to be a little more relaxed.
Kwok visited family in Vancouver, and even though they don't celebrate Thanksgiving in November, some of the activities were similar.
Definitely did a lot of souvenir shopping. We definitely ate a whole bunch of food, so felt like Thanksgiving.
Jexi Naponge was getting back from a work trip just in time for the holiday. She was grateful to touch down at SFO without any flight issues.
I was like, I'm so glad I'm back in the Bay Area. There's nothing like the Bay.
For Alsop, he's a seasoned traveler. He's already visited the Bay Area several times this year, and those would be considered small trips. In the last few weeks, he flew out to the UAE.
I just came back from Abu Dhabi, and all my flights were on time in both directions, and there was 3 flights in all, either way.
Moving around the Bay now for headlines in your community. Today, a committee of San Francisco supervisors will take up amendments to Mayor Daniel Lurie's housing plan. The mayor envisions more vertical development, including construction of residential towers, but several supervisors are seeking exemptions for certain spots within their districts. For example, Supervisor Stephen Sherrill wants to exempt several lots in the Marina and Pacific Heights. The 3-member Land Use and Transportation Committee will vote on amendments before sending the plan to the full 11-member board. A Utah woman who went missing in Santa Cruz County earlier this month has been found safe. The Santa Cruz Sheriff's Office says 35-year-old Danielle Staley was last seen on November 6th at a bonfire near Rio Del Mar Beach. All of her personal belongings were found at the beach, and Staley had not been in contact with her family. Sheriff officials have not released any information on how she was found or details about her disappearance. A man accused of attacking someone outside of a conservative advocacy group's event at UC Berkeley is set to enter a plea in court today. Police say Jihad Defrepolas was taking part in a protest outside of Zellerbach Hall as Turning Point USA held an event inside 2 weeks ago. Then he allegedly ripped a necklace off a merchandise vendor and started a fight that left the victim with blood on his face. The suspect now faces charges of robbery and battery. Separately, the U.S. Justice Department is investigating the protest. Little Caesars Pizza is hot and ready to move into Sebastopol, but some neighbors are ice cold about this. People say they don't want the chain restaurant in their town, chain restaurants at all. Even city officials say it shouldn't be there. Here's Dalin to explain.
Business owner Francesca Malera-Balak loves Sebastopol for its small shops, local flavors, and a downtown that doesn't look like anywhere else. That's why this surprised her.
Disappointing that big mistake like this will go through.
The city admits it accidentally approved a Little Caesars in the downtown core, even though chain stores have been banned there since 2018. And for Francesca, who owns Attical, a consignment furniture store, this isn't about pizza. It's about what Sebastopol stands for.
Something like that, I don't know. It doesn't add to the charm of the place, and it will bring away maybe business from somebody who is, who maybe has a higher quality of ingredients.
City leaders say they discovered the mistake only after Little Caesars had already begun building out the space, and by then they couldn't legally stop the project.
It's an error. The city of Sebastopol has taken ownership and admitted we made an error, an administrative error, and approval, but Little Caesars, I guess, took that approval and ran with it and started making improvements. And so they had a vested interest by the time we realized our error, and we had to let them move forward.
But not everyone sees it as a problem. Some younger residents told us they're glad to have a cheap, quick option.
For me specifically, I do like it because I'm a big fan of it.
They believe competition is healthy, and for them, price matters.
I mainly just like it because it's cheap. It's not really like the best food, but it's cheap enough for me.
Councilwoman Nisa Hinton says at this point, it's up to the customers.
The consumer now will decide whether they like it or not with their pocketbook. I point out we don't have a Burger King and we don't have a McDonald's in Sebastopol. They both went out of business.
What do I think about Little Caesars? I don't think it's necessarily a part of our community here in Sebastopol. There's a lot better pizza to be had in Sebastopol. So that's where I'll be going.
Steve DeCoste runs the only pizza restaurant in the downtown core. He's not thrilled, but he's not losing sleep over it either.
We're just building a resilient community, one pizza at a time. And so it won't impact us because of the quality of what we do. And we're really supported by our community and they understand this.
As for Francesca, she says what matters now is making sure the next application doesn't slip through the cracks.
Original as possible so that people come into town and they see new stores that are unique.
The city says it's added safeguards to make sure this kind of mistake doesn't happen again. As for Little Caesars, it plans to open its doors to the public sometime in the coming week.
We got new details about that breaking news situation involving BART this morning. The transit agency says, quote, there is currently no red or green line service due to a malfunctioning track switch near the West Oakland station. We continue to have service to all 50 stations, but some riders may have to transfer to complete their trips. This is causing minor delays. BART goes on to say we are sending crews onto the track to correct this issue and get the track switch working order. So here's the fix for you if you are heading out this morning. If you are a Green Line rider in San Francisco, you can get on a Blue Line train bound for Dublin or Pleasanton. Those on the Berryessa line can take a Richmond-bound train and then transfer at the Bayfair station. Red Line riders can still take the Yellow Line. We'll continue to keep you updated as we have more information this morning. A day after Stanford took home the axe in the big game, Cal axed its head coach, Justin Wilcox. He led the team for 9 seasons. On Saturday, Stanford crushed Cal 31-10. Not only did the Golden Bears lose the big game, but also the Axe Trophy, which is awarded to the winner of the big game. Over his 9 years at Cal, Wilcox had a 48-55 record. The Golden Bears have not had a winning season since 2019. Cal football's general manager, Ron Rivera, released a statement thanking Wilcox for his time. He also said in part, quote, we believe the time has come for new leadership. We wish Justin the best of luck in his future endeavors. It is 6:40 on this Monday morning. Elon Musk's White House project appears to be no more. Details on the demise of Doge despite being approved to run for 8 more months. And let's take you live outside. A beautiful shot of the San Francisco skyline. The sun's starting to peek out on this Monday morning. Jess will have your forecast when we come back. Welcome back. We are watching live video now from our many monitors that bring us headlines from all across the globe. So the United States has formally designated Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro as a member of a foreign terrorist organization. So this means the Trump administration could have expanded authority to take action in Venezuela. Now that could mean imposing fresh sanctions targeting Maduro's assets and infrastructure. However, according to legal experts, it doesn't explicitly authorize the use of lethal force. President Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has now disbanded. An official who runs the Office of Personnel Management says DOGE is no longer a centralized entity. Back in January, DOGE, with Elon Musk in charge, set out to shrink or eliminate federal agencies and slash their budgets. But critics say it delivered few measurable savings. There was a bittersweet goodbye over the weekend in San Francisco's Nob Hill. After 70 years, Bob's Donut and Pastry Shop closed its original location for good. It was located at 1621 Polk Street. They gave away free crumb donuts as a special thank you to the community for all the support over the years. We heard from customers who say the area will never be the same again.
It's an end of an era, you know. I mean, there's such a patina in the walls and whatnot. And I've been to the new location, and although it's nice, it I don't know, it just doesn't really quite have, you know, the character. But, you know, it's a new era in San Francisco, so, you know, it is what it is.
Luckily for those customers, the new location is just a block down the street, so Bob's isn't gone for good. That's at 1720 Polk, and it is already open for business. All right, time now for a look at what's coming up later on CBS Mornings. Nate Burleson joins us live from New York. Nate, great to see you on the holiday week.
Hey, what's going on, Max? And happy holidays to you. Here's what's coming up on a Monday. We have Beg Knows America because it is Monday. David reunites with Team Agar, the father and son triathletes who continue to defy the odds in endurance sports. Just wait until you see the latest, totally unexpected obstacle that they are overcoming. Plus, a table for one? Solo dining is becoming a growing trend. I'm not sure if you know this. So in our series, The Dish, we will show you how one restaurant is creating special experiences for customers without a plus one. And As you know, Gotham FC won their second NWSL championship in 3 years in San Jose over the weekend. We will be joined by game MVP Rose Lavelle and defender Emily Sonnet in studio to tell us about how incredible that big win was for them. We'll also have everything you need to know and more on the show, so we'll see you at 7.
Looking forward to it all. Thanks for that, Nate. Let's bring you live outside now on this Monday morning here in the Bay Area. This is a shot of the fog that looks like it is Mount Tam somewhere in there, if I remember correctly. And I might have that backwards, but you know what? It's a beautiful shot nonetheless. Here's Jess with your forecast. Hey, Jess.
You're either at Mount Tam looking at Mount Diablo over that fog or at Mount Diablo looking at Mount Tam. Regardless, yeah, it's filling the bay as we wake up this morning to the point where as we head out the door, if you live in Solano County, well, we have a dense fog advisory issued right now by the National Weather Service. It's way off closer to the Sacramento Valley, but it is worth noting that will pull back into this afternoon, clear up a bit more. We're still left with partly cloudy skies and low 60s and upper 50s throughout the Bay Area. Let's head all the way over into Solano County real fast. I want to start off by showing you that dense fog advisory. It stretches into the Sacramento Valley too, but another thing to talk about as well is this beach hazard statement just along our coastline. Anywhere from Half Moon Bay up into Ocean Beach, past that Golden Gate Bridge into places like Stinson Beach, we are still dealing with choppy waters widespread throughout our coastal communities. We could see rip currents and sneaker waves. Today's not the day to head out to the coast and head into the water by any means. It's chilly out there anyways. Maybe find a good activity to do inside as we head into the next couple hours, especially in the early morning hours along our coast. Now, heading into this Thanksgiving forecast right around the corner, things are looking pretty mild and beautiful for us as we head outside throughout the next couple days. Also dry, and I really want to emphasize that because for the past 2 weeks, we've either been dealing with an atmospheric river or a cold front bringing in showers widespread throughout the Bay Area. That is not the case on this Thanksgiving holiday week, and that's actually a really big deal too. I mean, you take a look at the next 7 days. Yes, it's cool, and yes, it's below average right now, especially in those inland spots. The coast, the Bay, we're used to low 60s, right? But as we head into this week's forecast, the big story for us just has to do with partly cloudy skies and low 60s and upper 50s, including our inland spots too. So the East Bay, very mild as we head into this holiday forecast. It's time to bundle up and stay warm. If you put the Christmas decorations up before Thanksgiving, just be aware it is going to be a chilly afternoon for us throughout the next couple days, but we're also seeing a similar trend after Thanksgiving too as we dive into this weekend. Back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Jessica. Now back to that major breaking news involving BART this morning. The transit agency says, quote, there's currently no red or green line service due to a malfunctioning track switch near West Oakland Station. We continue to have service to all 50 stations, but some riders may have to transfer to complete their trips. This is causing minor delays. BART goes on to say we are sending crews onto the track to correct this issue and get the track switch in working order. So here is the fix for you. Green Line riders right now are advised to board the Dublin-Pleasanton lines and transfer at Bayfair to a Berryessa train. For Red Line riders headed to Millbrae, you're told to take the shuttle train between SFO and Millbrae and then transfer to the Yellow Line. If you are coming from Richmond, take the orange or the Berryessa train and transfer at MacArthur to the yellow SFO train. Obviously a complicated situation there, so make sure you check your timetables, check the schedules ahead of time, or possibly just find another mode of transportation on this busy Monday morning because of this BART malfunction. Every day, thousands of Bay Area families struggle to make ends meet. And this morning, we are getting a closer look at what food assistance benefits mean for people who rely on them to survive. We spent the day with two people who live in San Jose who say every grocery trip is a calculation, and every dollar and every quarter makes a difference. Both women were homeless at one point. They're now sharing the daily work of stretching food benefits to survive.
No juices on sale. No. We plan a meal, one meal a week that is meat-based. Yeah. 2 dinners for $3.64. Inflation's going sky high, and can't stretch out a meal like you used to. 60, 25, 60.
Len Ramirez will share their full story tonight at 5 o'clock on KPIX. You will not want to miss it. And we invite you to join us in helping your community this holiday season. Scan the QR code on your screen to find out how you can donate to or volunteer at your local food banks. You can also learn more by going to our website, kpix.com/give. Also, be sure to join us for our holiday special airing on Christmas night at 7 o'clock. You'll see the inspiring stories behind the effort to feed families across the Bay Area, and you'll see just how big of an impact even the smallest donation can make for our neighbors in need.
It's like the perfect, what's the word?
Temperature.
No.
CBS is celebrating the 30th anniversary of the iconic TV show Everybody Loves Raymond. Tonight's special revisits the beloved sitcom's most popular episodes with candid conversations from the cast. Special also includes an emotional tribute to the late Doris Roberts and Peter Boyle, who portrayed Frank and Marie. The Everybody Loves Raymond reunion airs tonight at 8 o'clock right here on KPIX and on Paramount+. It is 6:51. It is meant to make it easy to take a fresh meal home. We'll introduce you to the San Francisco chef using vending machines to sell his fresh pasta. Welcome back. It's now time for your Money Watch report. Let's give you a live look at the big board this morning, starting the day just a smidge in the red. We'll be keeping our eyes on that. We are in the final shopping days for the Thanksgiving feast on Thursday, and according to Wells Fargo, there is some relief in cost for this year's meal. Their new study says the price of everything from turkeys and dinner rolls to stuffing is down this year. That is, if you stick to the store brands instead of the name brands. There's one exception, and that is whipped cream, which is about up 3% when compared to a year ago. Overall, the average cost to feed 10 people this Thanksgiving would be about $80, and that is, again, if you stick to only store brand products. With the national brands, you could pay as much as $15 more. Some big retailers like Walmart have Thanksgiving offerings which bundle everything together as a way to reduce the price. This federal government is recalling a children playpen sold on Amazon. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the items made in China were sold by a company called Anna Queen. The danger is that infants could become trapped under the mattress or between the side of the play yard and the mattress. That could lead to serious injury or even suffocation. So far, no reports of any injuries. About 70 of these playpens were sold starting last March. Anna Queen is urging anyone who owns one to stop using it and to request a refund.
What's the plan? I have no plan. Well, I do. Oh, thank God.
Wicked for Good zoomed off to a $150 million debut, making it the best opening ever for a Broadway adaptation. It's also the second biggest three-day launch of the year, behind a Minecraft movie. It outperformed the first Wicked movie, which opened with $112 million the same weekend last year. You know, we also saw some Bay Area theaters really get into the Wicked spirit. We spoke to excited fans at the AMC Kabuki Theater in San Francisco about it.
We're so excited.
Really excited.
We listened to the soundtrack on the way over here, so we're ready.
Yeah, and we actually saw the first one together when we were abroad.
Last year we went to see Wicked. It's the best movie ever. It's so good.
Almost went out there yesterday to watch it. Can't wait to check it out myself. Well, if you need a quick dinner, a vending machine probably is not your first thought, but a San Francisco chef is hoping to change your mind. Lorene Ayub takes us to his new pasta vending machine.
When you encounter a vending machine, you might find a variety of drinks or snacks. But not this vending machine. Anthony Strong, chef and owner of Pasta Supply Co., is replenishing his new vending machine filled with, you guessed it, pasta. Fresh pasta and sauces ready to be taken home and easily cooked.
Our most popular pasta by far is mafaldine.
The ingredients come straight from the source. Pasta Supply Co.'s flagship restaurant in the Mission prepares the ingredients daily. And Anthony wanted to ensure the restaurant's quality was accessible to people, even if they haven't been to the restaurant itself.
I was like, oh, maybe we could actually just open tiny little versions of our pasta shop, selling fresh pastas and sauces and, easy things for dinners at home.
From mafaldine to rigatoni, preparing a fresh meal after work can be challenging after a long day. Anthony hopes the vending machines will give folks an easy win.
They're leaving work and they're like, shoot, I didn't make a plan for tonight. What am I going to do? We just wanted to be another option so people didn't have to make an extra stop at a grocery store or go online and order a $40, salad delivered on an app or anything like that.
As Anthony replenishes the machines, customers like David Pincus are seeing the pasta vending machine for the very first time. Dinner came early.
Not seen a vending machine for homemade pasta and pasta
for, so I hope it works out.
What'd you pick?
I got meatballs, and I got bucatini, and I got a chocolate panna cotta.
Anthony may not be Italian, but he got his first job at a restaurant at just 15 years old. After that, it was love at first bite.
Pasta found me.
And he's been committed ever since. With 2 restaurants in San Francisco and more vending machines in the works, he hopes the simple and fresh approach to the timeless dish will make people's day after a long day.
Getting people, you know, approachable, affordable meals out and approachable, affordable ingredients for meals at home.
Because when you've got the passion, all things are possible.
I wonder if it's possible to have pasta for breakfast this morning. All right, coming up on Pix Plus 44 Cable 12, we are tracking disruptions to your morning commute. More problems for BART riders. There is no red or green line service this morning. We've got live reports tracking the impact on riders and what their fix can be this morning. And it is opening day for Heavenly Mountain Resort in Lake Tahoe. We're live with resorts officials on more on what you can expect as they get ready to kick off ski season. And let's give you a live look outside. No snow to talk about in the Bay Area, but a beautiful sunrise to start your day. We hope to see you over on Pix Plus 44 Cable 12.